Hi, my name is Sara Wehner, and I am a graphic designer here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I went to Bowling Green State University and I studied visual communication technology and I specialized in print design. I would say my experience in design really started when I started yearbook. I was really into layout design, and once I started doing that, I really realized how much design is around you. Like once you start looking, you have billboards and logos and all this stuff. I had never done any sort of graphic design besides, yearbook layout design. I was always into art, so I knew that, it was something I could try, and I learned all through college. I had no idea what I was doing when I first started there. At first, I didn't think I'd be into sports. I was more of a, creative agency, just working for a lot of different brands. But seeing the fun and seeing the hype behind the posts when you post them, or just seeing how excited they get people, it makes it rewarding to be doing those designs. One of the main projects that I've worked on since being here and designing for is the 2023 class announcement for the new class of Hall of Famers. We actually design a 30 by 40 foot banner every year that sits on the side of the building, and I got the opportunity to design that this year. So when we're designing for something like this, the first thing we do is we reach out to all the individual players and teams and see what headshots we can get from them for this. And then we kind of lay them all out and see which ones the guys are comfortable with, because sometimes you might think a picture is great and they don't love it. So from there, we then lay them all out and we put them kind of in grids, and we make sure that they're all proportional. Like, we don't want one head to be bigger than another. When you're designing for a class that you might have some posthumous members, a little bit more difficult to, really honor them and make sure, because they're not here to see the work that you're putting out. So we go to the first family member in line, whoever's their contact point, make sure they're okay with it, they think we're representing them nicely. But also sometimes we just struggle, getting the pictures from them. I know we have a member this year that he played so long ago, all his pictures were black and white. He just kind of stuck out in the banner, so we ended up actually having to, colorize and play around with that a little bit. But the main thing is just how can we honor them even though they're not here? And we really lean on the family to make sure that they're comfortable with what we're doing. Another project that I've been really proud of to work on while I've been here is the Women in Football exhibit. Our president came in and he really wanted to see more women's football incorporated into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So I got the opportunity to design a wrap for the displays to really showcase women in football, and hopefully to be able to expand that into its own exhibit one day. We have one main wrapped case, which that's where Jen Welter's jersey is. She actually came here and got a picture with it and posted about it, so that was super cool to see, because she was a really monumental person in women's football. That's really cool. I got to wrap that one completely, and then on all of the other ones, we have just a smaller football label on it to know that it's part of the exhibit. As the creative team, we are almost always using Adobe products, Adobe Suite, Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. Almost every piece of printed material, digital material that's coming out of the building is created by one of us on the creative team. So we have a large part in working with everyone in the building to, get the stuff done. Everything you see around the building has one point been done by the creative team. We also have one other person on our creative team. We actually work with him in all of the store photo shoots. So we do paid social, email marketing. We go down to the store, we get clothes that we want to promote. We might be taking photos one day. Sometimes we're even doing some video stuff. We kind of work hand in hand with our production team too if they ever need help. I was actually an intern when I first got to see my work here. It actually went up at Centennial Plaza first. That was the first place I've ever seen my work. It was only Cleveland Brown schedules and Ohio State schedules because they live stream all the games down there. The big piece I had here, which was obviously the banner, that was just awesome. Like seeing the Hall of Famers come in and be like, oh my gosh, that's my face on the wall, huge. Joe Thomas loved it, DeMarcus Ware, just the smiles on their faces was so rewarding, as well as just seeing all of the visitors out front taking pictures with it in front of it, and it's just been really rewarding to see how much everyone enjoys it. Here at the hall, we obviously take great pride in our work, and we're working every day to, make this a more youthful place and really honor the traditions, but make it a fun place to enjoy. I've honestly learned so much in the time I've been here from working with the two designers, just seeing how they work, but also working hand in hand with them. It's a really great team here. Everyone's very close, almost like family. And I do really like the aspect of guests coming in here every day. You can go out into the museum and leave the office area, and you can always hear, the little commotion of kids or group tours and visits, and that just makes me happy because it really shows that the work that we're putting in is worth it.